All right, so the one arm dumbbell overhead press is gonna be one of those things that is more challenging than it actually looks, because really all we're doing is standing up nice and tall, pressing a single dumbbell overhead from this position. But it's very important that we stay upright, but we don't extend overly like that. So whenever you kind of see people pressing like this, or maybe you're guilty of that, we're actually taking the whole purpose of the exercise away. We're putting an undue amount of stress on our lower back, our upper back, and our shoulders. So that's when people get hurt. So first step, I know you can't see my feet, is you want to put your feet a little bit farther than shoulder width apart, drive them into the ground, squeeze your butt, and flex your abs. Think like you're trying to drive your ribs down into your hips, almost like gently tucking those ribs into your pelvis. This position right here is one, it's going to make the press actually a little more difficult. You're going to feel a little less strong than you actually are, which is fine, but it's also going to ensure that our torso, our lower back, our hips are in the right position so that nothing bad can happen. So step one, that. Set up feet shoulder width apart, drive the ribs down, flex the glutes, flex the abs. Step two is get the dumbbell up into position. You can do that however you want. You can have a little kick like that. You can place it up. You can have it somewhere, grab it. No big deal. So what we're going to do here is we're going to keep the dumbbell in a neutral position. All that means, you can see here, is that my palm is facing in. We're not going to press like this. We're not going to have the dumbbell out like that. We're nice and tucked in. So you want to almost imagine like your starting position is the top of a chin-up. So we have the lat engaged, we have the elbow down. The elbow's not really much farther down than our shoulder, but it's nice and tucked in. My lat's engaged, my shoulder's in a neutral position, so there's no weirdness with the rotator cuff that happens with a lot of people. And another thing, when you press from the shoulder from this position, a lot of people just don't have the right mobility, so it puts a ton of pressure right there on the front of the AC joint, which you probably have pain in. So when we bring it close, we're actually going to kind of use that entire shoulder girdle and use it the way it's designed to be used. So neutral position, glutes tight, core tight, and as we press up, we're going to gently rotate that palm facing forward. So just like that. And on the way down, same thing. Think like you're pulling down for a chin up. Notice my elbow's nice and tight. I'm using my lats, my palm's in a neutral position. As I press up, I rotate out. Second thing, as you get heavier, you're going to have a little technique change. So what we're going to do here is we are going to start from this position, and as we press up, we're actually going to kind of gently look away from the weight. So notice it's nothing crazy. I'm just gently turning slightly away from the weight, maybe 5 degrees, and then I'm coming right back down. That's just going to allow that shoulder to move that little extra 5%. It's going to feel a little bit easier. I don't know what number this is, but let's say it's the fourth thing. Stability. The extra hand, you notice I held it out like this. What I want you to do is I want you to make a fist and squeeze it. Stability is a full body function. So if I keep my glutes tight, keep my core tight, keep this opposite hand extended and tight, I'm gonna feel much more stable overall. I'm gonna have much less wiggle room. There's gonna be a significantly lower chance that something bad is gonna happen. So simple movement, like I said, it's much more difficult.